Hello guys, welcome back to my channel, or welcome to my channel if you're new here. My name is Anna and I am here for a story time today. If you guys want
a crazy, wild
roller coaster of a story time, well, you are at the right place. So this story starts off in Greece, in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea. So my family, my best friend, we all went on a cruise in 2017 all throughout Italy and Greece. It was amazing, beautiful, so thankful for that, loved it. That's irrelevant though. So we were on a cruise. You know, if you've ever been on a cruise, you know, you meet people, you make friends, you stay up late, all that fun stuff. So we did that, we made a bunch of friends as normal, you know, cruise friends. Okay guys, if you've ever been on a cruise, you know cruise friends, they just hit differently. They're like best friends immediately. It was something like that, okay? So I was with my best friend Ainsley. That's her real name, Ainsley. Hi Ainsley. But I'm gonna call the friend we met. I'm not gonna expose her name because the story's kind of about her and us. We're gonna call her Emma. So it's me, Emma, and Ainsley. So it comes to be the last day of the cruise. We are about to get off in Athens, Greece. So it was the end of our trip, you know, everything went perfectly except for half of my cousins and my best friend getting sick and throwing up and my brother throwing up in the Vatican. That's a whole nother story though. But yeah, so it was the last day of the cruise. Me, Ainsley, and Emma, we were all in the teen club because we were freshmen in high school at this time. Let's keep that in mind. So we were 14, 15, that age. So we were painting flip-flops. It's I vividly remember this. Such an innocent, casual thing to do, right? Just painting little polka-dotted flip-flops that said
European Cruise 2017.
Until Ainsley and I were were grandmas and we had to get off the ship at 4 in the morning, super early. So we're Emma, I think we're gonna go to bed, but we will see you in the morning because we we're super close friends with her at this point and we were gonna hang out in Athens. Wow, so casual, right?
We were gonna hang out in Athens.
But we never really wanted to leave each other alone, so we were we can walk you back to your room if you want. She's oh no, I'm fine, I want to stay out. We didn't really know much and it was nothing in our minds seemed like it could go wrong. Because in a 14-year-old's mind, you're nothing could possibly happen, right? Also, to foreshadow this for us, the first day we met a boy. Not gonna say his name either. We're gonna call him Dan. So we met Dan in the teen club, but Dan was 18, so he couldn't actually be in the teen club, but he was standing outside the teen club. So, us being the young 14-year-olds that we were oh my god, hi Dan! And we kind of hung out with Dan for a little bit throughout the cruise, but not very much just because of the age difference. But we did. He was nice, you know, just typical 18-year-old boy, right? So back to the teen room. Ainsley and I, we decide we are going to leave so we can go to sleep since we had to be up early. So we're okay,
bye, Emma.
We'll see you tomorrow. And there was a whole teacher in there at the teen club, you know, watching over everyone, a bunch of kids. We didn't leave her just alone, so she's okay. We went back to our rooms to go to sleep. And at this point, it's probably 11, so we went to our bunks. We were sharing a room with my parents. So we had the 2 bunks, and then they had the bed right here. We are both just sound asleep, and then I sleep through everything, so Emma's mom comes and knocks at our door, and my mom answers it, and Emma's mom is panicking, wondering if Emma was with us, because she hadn't returned back to her room yet and nobody knew where she was. She wasn't in the teen club and she wasn't with us. Then my mom woke me up and Ainsley up. Emma's mom was where have you guys seen Emma? Is she with you guys? She really thought that she was with us, and we were no, she told us that she was fine and that we could go. Last time we saw her, she was in the teen club. So at this point, it is probably 12:30-ish. We were both sound asleep. We get woken up to hear that our best friend is
missing.
So we just immediately panicked. My parents are up, Ainsley and I are up, and Emma's whole family's up, and we are all wandering the boat in the middle of the night looking for her, thinking, oh, maybe she is just chilling somewhere, you know, we tried to keep it oh, she's okay at first, you know. So we all split up. Ainsley and I, we went and looked in every bathroom thinking, okay, maybe she's in a bathroom stall. So I'm not even kidding you, we went in every single bathroom on the cruise. She wasn't there. My dad was walking around the ship, Emma's dad, Emma's mom, my mom, everybody was looking for her. And then after about probably 30, 40 minutes of that, and we couldn't find her, we decided that this was serious and we needed to tell the security guards. Also, just so people don't think that we're just so extra, this was a fairly small cruise ship, and It was completely empty. Like everybody was asleep. There was nobody out and about. So it's not like we were searching through a bunch of like drunk college kids. It wasn't that kind of cruise. It was mainly older people. There was nobody out. We could not find Emma anywhere. So we all started panicking. It was so unlike Emma to not come back to her room. And also the fact that we were getting off the ship at 4 in the morning. And she hasn't returned. So we all go up to the help center, what's it called? I'm blanking on the word. Like the front desk, you know, where they help. And we told them the situation. They kind of immediately seemed concerned. They immediately pulled me over along with my best friend Ainsley. And they started asking us a bunch of questions about her and where she was last seen because we've been with her 24/7. They were asking what she was last wearing, what she looks like, what color hair she has, how long it was, how tall she is, all this sort of information, where we think she may have gone, if she possibly met someone on the cruise that she'd be with. We end up telling them about Dan because she wasn't necessarily like interested in Dan, but we were with him a few times. He did say something sketch that we brought up. They immediately leached onto this idea that
Dan had Emma.
this is just our minds at this point in time. We have no idea where she is. And they search him up and they find his room number. They decide to call Dan's room. This is where it just gets way worse. Dan doesn't answer the phone. So then they sent down a security guard to his room, knocked on the door, nobody answered. This is when it started to get real sketch because they definitely would have been woken up by, you would think, the phone, but if not the phone, like the pounding by the security guards. Nobody answers the phone or the door. Now everybody's like full on.
Dan has Emma.
Our parents are like, and we're just like, I don't know, like we just were painting flip-flops. We're still by the front desk, you know, and the main lady was helping us out. The security guards were like walking around looking for her, and she starts to print out huge pictures of Emma's face, like her little cruise card picture, like this big probably. She prints them out and starts handing them to like a bunch of security guards and a bunch of people that are going out to look for her. That was terrifying for my 14-year-old self to see like one of my best friend's faces like plastered everywhere because she was missing. And now her face is printed out very largely with all the security guards are going out and searching the boat. Some are trying to find Dan and Dan's family. Okay, so at this point when they had our faces printed out and they were looking, they told us to go back to our rooms just in case she came back to us. So we were told to stay in our rooms. So the lady comes to our room and says that we have to declare her a missing person and says that if we don't declare her a missing person, that the boat can no longer do anything for it, basically. I didn't know this existed, but oh boy, it does. So if you don't know, because I didn't, what that means if we declare her a missing person on the cruise ship is that the whole cruise ship would have to completely stop in the middle of the Mediterranean Sea and have like a full-on search team. Everybody would have to come out of their rooms. They would check everybody's room.
That was terrifying.
They gave us 10 minutes to find her until we officially declared her a missing person, and all that would have to go down.
10 minutes.
Imagine like the pure fright of 10 minutes until like we have to declare her a missing person and the whole ship stops and everybody has to get woken up when we were supposed to be leaving the next day at 4 in the morning, and it's like really late. So the security guards continue to look and we're just staying in our room hoping she comes back because they told us to stay. Each minute, you know, it keeps going down and down and down. Ainsley and I are getting so anxious. We're like, this isn't happening. Like, did she accidentally fall off the ship? You know, if you're on a cruise ship, there's only so many places you can be. And then it hits like a minute and 15 seconds before she's about to be declared a missing person. And we get a call that they found her with Dan. Well, they didn't necessarily find them though. You see, Dan wasn't answering the door, like what is going on? And they eventually found Dan's dad in the casino. Emma ended up finding herself because the security guards never found her. Emma and Dan ended up getting up from where they were chilling and going to get coffee. And it is like 3 in the morning or something at this point, like it is late. They were found getting coffee. Like the security guards didn't even find them, and they said that they were just sitting on this couch. Even we have a picture of Emma in front of it. It's right visible where everybody could see it. I'm like, there's no way. Like, we had a whole security team plus us all looking for you. Like, we would have seen you on the couch in clear vision. And they're like, no, like for real, we were on the couch. Emma was found. Dan was like, what is going on? Came down to in a minute. If she wouldn't have gotten coffee, then it would have been such a different ending. Oh my gosh. That's the story about how one of my best friends ended up going missing on a cruise. And we've gone on like a few cruises since then, and now my mom literally gives us a whistle and she says like, no Dan's yet. And my Ainsley and I, we all joke about it to this day because she's okay, Dan's okay, they're all okay, and nothing bad happened. And what we learned is to never separate from your friends. And that is why me and Ainsley probably have codependence problems. But I've never heard of anything like this happening, so I thought it'd be a funny story to share now that it's funny. Just a PSA, sketchy stuff can happen on cruise ships, so you gotta be so safe, and for real, stay with your friends. Don't pull a Dan. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more and turn on my post notifications so you can be alerted whenever I post. I post Wednesdays and Sundays. And I hope you guys are staying safe and healthy during this quarantine time. I love you all so much, and I'm so thankful for everything, and I'll see you next time. Bye!